Have you ever felt while you are learning a language solo that you are wasting so much of your time? Maybe you feel overwhelmed, you're frustrated because something isn't working, you're questioning everything about how to learn in quote unquote the right way. This has happened to me so many times when I have just been watching someone else progress in their language, maybe on YouTube, and then I still haven't studied. These are my top 3 tips that are from the Mindful Fluency Method, which is my signature coaching method that I use to help language learners learn faster and also learn more sustainably and joyfully. The first thing that I encourage you to create even this week for yourself is called an automatic answer. This is going to help you, especially when you feel like you are wasting time trying to restart your routine over and over, you fall off again, and then the cycle repeats. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pre-plan an either activity, an intention, or a mantra in terms of mindset that you can easily execute, that is accessible to you on the days that you know that you are going to be already depleted during the week, so that before you actually miss a day, you'll be able to understand, okay, I just have to execute this one move in order to stay consistent and make my language study time count. Usually when, let's say, we start really well off with a lot of motivation and a lot of energy on Monday, but then we get to Thursday and we know that it's the end of the week and we're losing motivation maybe at work, or we've had a stressful day and we just show up depleted to our language learning routine, that is when you can get out your automatic answer that just helps you execute. You don't have to decide on what you want to do or if what you originally planned to do can even count, because you're not at the energy level required to implement that same activity to the best of your ability, right? So probably having like a 1-hour speaking conversation when you're already tired, I don't know about you, but that is definitely a high energy activity for me. Instead, what I would probably do, instead of trying to have a whole conversation in Korean, which is the current language I am dabbling in right now, I would just draw the Hangul that I have recently learned to write literally in the air for maybe about 2 or 5 minutes, just depending on how I feel. I can do it absolutely anywhere, anytime. I don't need any sort of utensils. I don't even need my phone for it, right? Because I just have myself. So make whatever your automatic answer is going to be really accessible for you. You can also learn with me how to build your full recovery framework inside my free training pinned in the comment below, because really what helps language learners be successful long-term is not the absence of obstacles or overcoming them, it's how quickly and effectively can you recover from those so that you can still continue learning at your own pace and joyfully. Grab that, especially if you feel like you fall off your routine regularly. Another tip is to decide what your good enough baseline will be. I always encourage every language learner that I personally work with to understand that for themselves, because I notice, especially with the types of learners who are attracted to language learning in the first place, right? Usually they like to do hard things to prove to themselves that they can do them. They are also usually high achievers. They also usually have ambitious goals. And when you pair all of that together, also with probably having academic backgrounds where they know that they are capable, and then they go into language learning and they just feel so incapable and dumb. That mentality is paired usually with thinking that you have to struggle in order for something in your language study session to count. Sometimes you can say, you know, watching a movie in my target language with subtitles is cheating because subtitles are there. You can also think to yourself, listening to music doesn't count as a study session because I don't struggle through it, something like that, right? Any version of that you find yourself telling yourself can really backfire on you when you're trying not to waste your time in learning. Because when we're not clear about what counts for us personally, then we can easily be influenced and outsource our confidence and clarity to people outside of ourselves who may be doing what exactly works for them in their own language learning journey, but you aren't doing what works for you. You haven't even given yourself a chance to decide how that can look like. You haven't given yourself permission to do that. So this is your permission slip today to start thinking about what actually is good enough for me to feel satisfied, but still accommodates how my best is going to look like day to day. Because our energy, our life disruptions, whatever it takes and contributes to energy along the week is going to look different for everyone else. And being adaptable to that is really going to help you in not wasting time by already figuring out what will be the minimum that counts for you. Now, what else can we feel like we're wasting time with? Being overwhelmed with resources, having too many as well, especially if you are learning some of the more popular languages. And what I'll say to that is I really encourage you to think about this week, setting aside what your main base resource is going to be. Usually for me, that is going to look like a textbook because it really covers the essential grammar, vocabulary, all four of the skills that you build in a language, right? But it doesn't have to be a textbook if you don't want it to be. It can also be a live program that you are using and they have their own curriculum, or it can be a podcast that has a lot of episodes with their transcripts. It can also simply be an app. Whatever helps you stay somewhat structured in how you are consuming your information. Now, let's say you have all of those things for literally just one language. I remember I had both a live program and a textbook and a podcast and, all of that, numerous apps for German. But really limiting my base resource to just one thing really helped me stay focused and not feel like I had to consume absolutely every single thing that every single resource was given me. Because when you really think about it, pretty much all of the resources teach us the exact same thing or variations of the same thing, especially if we are between an A0 and a B2, right? Usually when you're more advanced, you have more flexibility with not being overwhelmed in order to pick whatever you want to listen to or use. But for actually building the foundations, it really has more to do with how you personally like to consume information instead of fearing that you're not going to get everything that you need to get. So that is why I encourage you really limit to one base resource and then have a maximum of 4 other resources that you use maybe on a rotating basis, and then check in with yourself periodically and ask, hey, do I need to reevaluate? Do I need to replace a resource? Is it actually serving me on my language journey and towards my goals, etc.? I also highly recommend you check out this video in the card linked above if you need more of an in-depth look at how I audit resources, especially when I have too many, and just do a really nice detox that makes me feel really organized and having lots of clarity at the end. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and let me know in the comments below what was your favorite takeaway that you got, and where are you finding yourself on your language learning journey? Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in another video soon.